Hello, I'm Tactical Pascal. Welcome to the channel. I hope this finds you all safe and well. This video is on navigation for the Uh-1H Huey in DCS world. Before I begin, I'd like to say a huge thank you to absolutely everyone who has subscribed to the channel. It's really fantastic. It helps the channel grow. If you like it and you haven't subscribed already, hit that button. It's free. But for everyone who has subscribed, thank you very much. The purpose of this video is to allow you to navigate around the map in the Huey. Sometimes when you're playing online, the F10 view mode is disabled, so you can't see yourself or other aircraft. But what you can do is use the markers on the map for VORs or for beacons, and you can fly around and find your way around. It's also very useful for search and rescue. So when a pilot ejects on certain servers, there will be a beacon, and you can go out and actually pick the pilot up and bring him back for a nice little cheeky rescue. So let's go. So if we look over to our left hand panel, we have our navigation column. So we're going to use this to tune a frequency, and then it's going to adjust our needles. We've got our VHF column, we've got our UHF. To the right hand side we have our FM. I'll demonstrate how these work. And below that we have our automatic direction finder frequencies. So we can use all these systems to help us navigate around the map. So if we look at the actual mission brief, I've set this up so that we have a group at FARP London on 35 FM. So what we're going to do is find the group at FARP London and fly straight to it. So if I look at the map now, so here we are on the map. I don't know where I am. Well, I do, because I've obviously built the mission. However, we can't see where our fob is, so we need to be able to tune it on the frequency, and you'll have this a lot on multiplayer maps. Now, you could just do something as simple as bring your kneeboard up and find out where you are by doing that, but let's not do the kneeboard. Let's actually use our radio. So we want to tune our FM to 35 FM. Now I've got a little sound playing, I'll just turn that down. So I want to change this to 35, and then I want to put it to home in on the signal. Now when I click that, if you look at the course deviation indicator, that changes. So the home, the vertical bar moves off to the left. So all I need to do is take off and align that vertical bar on the center of that dial. So I'm going to bring in the power, I'm going to start taking off, and then I'm going to need to turn left. So I'm going to look where I'm going as I turn left, continue turning left. So I need to be heading down here somewhere by the looks of it. So I'm going to fly about 210, so the needle's starting to move now. Let me pause it there. So that needle is starting to move into the vertical position, so I need to fly on this heading. So what I can do is adjust my course to 210, and what I want to do is look down towards that town, because it's pointing me down that direction. So I'm going to look ahead out the cockpit and fly in that direction. So we'll trim the aircraft out a little bit, and then we're just going to follow that needle all the way down to our FARP. So trim is on. So I've gone a little bit too far left, so I'm going to bring her right a little bit to bring that vertical needle back into the center. Going to come right again, a little bit more right. We're lined up. So those tower blocks in front of me, I'm going to fly towards them initially, and then from there we'll see where we need to go. So I don't need to keep staring at the needle, because that's how you crash into terrain. So I've got a rough direction that's pointing. I'm going to fly towards those tower blocks that are off in the distance there. So I'm going to fly towards them and see where it takes me. Okay, we're approaching the FARP now. we can see ahead of us there is an APC, which is probably where that beacon's coming out from. So if I turn and line up that APC, that's the beacon's going to shift. But the navigation has got me close enough so I can see the FARP, and then I can come in and stick it down for a landing. So we can ignore our course deviation indicator now and just head towards where we need to go. Now this is useful for finding FARPs in the field in multiplayer missions. It's also good for finding downed pilots, and I'll cover more of that on when I move on to ADF in just a moment. Okay, this time we are in Nevada, and we are going to use our VOR navigation to get to McCarran International Airport. So McCarran International is VOR of 116.9. So we're going to go over to our nav, and we're going to tune in, roll that dial up to 116.9. Keep going. Okay, 116.9, and then we're going to right click it so it goes to power on, and straight away the needle's moved. So change our VOR so they're both pointing to a heading of almost east. So I'm going to move my compass around. Then we're going to take off, and we are going to fly to the east. And all we're going to do is follow that radio compass direct to where we need to go. So if we continue flying this direction, eventually we will get to McCarran International. And we'll pick this up as we get closer. So here we are at sunny Las Vegas, and we're just still following that VOR navigation beacon, and that's going to take us straight out towards McCarran International like we tuned in. Next up is ADF navigation. Once again, we'll be somewhere on the map in Nevada. Let's say we wanted to go to Desert Rock. So we can see here on the map that we have a beacon with a frequency of 326 kilohertz. So what we need to do is in the cockpit is this is going to be an automatic direction finder. So we need that dial pointing up to the northeast position essentially, and our radio compass is going to maneuver when we tune in. So we want to come over to our ADF and scroll the tune in until we get to 326. Now you can scroll the outside with a right click and then left click to bring it back down. The gain, if it's too loud, you scroll it on and off. Now what we need to do is on the top is just scroll until we get to 326, and you'll see this little needle move when it's got a good reception of that frequency. So that's 320, there we go, there's the needle moved too far back, so 326. And if we look up here at our ADF, it's going to start moving. So we've got a direction of about 040. Now that needle moves sometimes when you take off. In a multiplayer mission, this is where you get the pilot ejecting, and you will get a frequency to tune in on your ADF, and then you just follow the needle to where you need to go. So we're going to take off. That initial heading was 030. So we're going to fly that direction. Now the needle will move as you lift off, and then all you need to do is check and adjust. So again, I don't want to be staring at that needle the whole time. What I want to do is get on a heading and then trim it out a little bit, and I'll pause it there. So that needle is pointing directly up to the saddle in between these two mountains. So instead of looking at the needle and trying to fly on that, because I will crash into terrain, obviously it's very flat here, it's not an issue, but you will crash into terrain in Caucasus or Syria, things like that. We're going to head for the saddle in these mountains, and then we'll get our directional again. So we're heading for Desert Rock. I get mountains in front of me, that says to me I'm down here because I'm flying 030. So from Desert Rock I'm somewhere 210, so I'm somewhere near Crystal, I think, unless I'm all the way down here. But the needle points, we tune it in. Easy peasy. So that was a quick guide to navigation in the Uh-1H Huey. It is very simple as long as you follow the procedures. Tune the frequencies in, it's an absolute doddle. You can of course just use the kneeboard and navigate around, but if you've got a system on the aircraft that's going to help you find something quicker, just use it. That's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked it, hit that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, legend. Until next time, Tactical Pascal out!